In what may be the hottest year in history, scientists have recorded radical changes to the permafrost in Antarctica.
The Pandora virus, a so-called giant virus with the largest genome size ever recorded.
The crabs also display increased aggression, even towards larger predators.
A striking new weather anomaly has claimed many coastlines around the world. NASA is examining these clouds to figure out...
We've detected large amounts of an organic composite. So far, the sample doesn't match any of the DNA records we've compared it with.
We all saw it. Those creatures coming out of the sea on that oil rig.
The president has declared a national emergency.
It's obvious that what we're dealing with here is a biological weapon. As of today, we are at war.
It's taking their minds. I saw them walk right into the sea. Thousands of people. Thousands.
The mist is gone, but the city is dead. The roads are broken. You must join one of the havens. Do not attempt to survive on your own.
Hello everyone, my name is SiC and welcome back to Phoenix Point. At this time, Phoenix Point is fully released and... well, I've covered this game on my channel before, but if you're new to this, basically what this is a... well, if you're familiar with the modern XCOM games, they had predecessors, and this game was made by the guy who made the original XCOM games. And what it's trying to do is go back to the older way of doing it. More simulation, more depth in the strategy layer. So this game has a strategy layer in which you build bases, you explore the world, and then you go on missions. And those missions will be tactical battles, which will be turn-based. Anyway, I won't talk too much about it. We're just going to start a new game here. This game has literally just released. Let's see, I've got Living Weapons, which is a DLC part that I got for pre-ordering, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure. We have several difficulties, suitable for new players to the strategy genre. We have Veteran, the standard game difficulty for players familiar with the strategy genre. We've got Hero, a more challenging experience for players who want a serious challenge. And then we've got Legend, the ultimate test of your strategic and tactical abilities. And well, it may be unwise, but we're going for it. I'm going for this one. Just because it is interesting to see how difficult it actually is, because for some reason I never had that much trouble with the backer builds, which I did play a fair bit. Anyway, we will enable the tutorial, because who knows what has changed or has become new since backer build 5, or was it 5 or 4? I don't remember. It doesn't really matter anyway. Yeah, let's begin. Right, so right off the bat we can see that some of the loading screens, well, all of them have changed. They look quite nice. It's cool to see some art and that it's...
My name is Randall Simon. I am the last leader of the Phoenix Project. If you are hearing this, I am most likely dead. But in happier news, a scarab has been sent to pick you up, and its artificial intelligence will take you to Phoenix Point. Get to it quickly and safely.
Alright, well, I was going to say it's nice to see that there is a fair bit of artwork added to the game and lots of other things. It does make it feel a lot more complete than the backer build was, because that was literally just an alpha. Anyway, we are in the tutorial. And so we are just going to have to follow the prompts, I guess. So let's see, try the camera controls. Left mouse and drag, or use the gamepad. Well, we don't have a gamepad. We can press Q and E for rotation. We can use the mouse wheel to go up and down levels. So as you can see, we can now see the roof. If we go further down, we can see this level and then the other level below it. But we also have camera zoom by T and G, which works differently, because now it doesn't go up levels, it just zooms in and out. Most of the time though, I think it's just better to use the mouse wheel. It's a little bit quicker, a little bit more easy, I guess, but it has its uses. Anyway, move your soldier to the highlighted tile. Left click on the destination tile or move the selection marker with gamepad and press A. Yeah, we don't have that.
Gotta be quick.
Right, so we have gone for a run and we have spotted an enemy. Enemy icons above your action bar show all spotted enemies. A red icon shows an enemy in direct line of sight for the selected soldier. Selecting soldiers, select your soldier, left click on the mouse, or on the soldier I mean, or move the selection marker with the gamepad onto the soldier and press A. Well, the thing is, normally speaking you would want to shoot, right? But we don't have enough action points remaining to actually fire. So the only thing we really can do is select this other soldier and yeah, move over here to try and get a shot. So, action points and movement. Soldiers have 4 action points to use for shooting and movement each turn. A soldier can move a number of tiles for each action point depending on his speed. Yeah, this is the thing. You can see these 4 pips below the soldier's bar. Health bar, armor bar, and so on. These represent the 4 action points that are described here. So if you move all the way over here, it would use up 1 action point. But the action points actually do work incrementally. So if we were to move over here, we just move a little bit. And if we move over here, you can see the action bar is depleted just a little bit more. And a little bit more until finally the whole bar is depleted. So we can actually use that to step by step move around corners, make sure that we don't see any enemies and so on. So if you move over here, that is 1 action point used, and then we could move to the second action point. That uses 2 action points. And so on. So once we move over here, we enter the orange bar and we would not be able to shoot anymore because shooting actually does also take 2 action points. Anyway, our objective is to move over here. So that is exactly what we're going to do. But another enemy has been spotted. The health bar indicates the current hit points. The armor pips to the right show the amount of damage prevented for each shot. When targeting an enemy, the amount of damage from an attack is shown on the health bar. The whiter the damage prediction, the more likely it is. Select fire weapon and fire at the enemy. Alright, so fire weapon. And we can press fire weapon. So we go down onto a ground level view, which is really cool. And really reminiscent of the modern XCOM games. And this is a bit more cinematic than the older the original XCOM games were, because of course those were on DOS, and the DOS graphics doesn't really allow for that kind of thing. But now we can get down onto the ground and have a look at these disgusting crabs up close. Anyway, let's fire that weapon, shoot this thing in the head, and down it goes. Awesome. Alright, standby mode. Once the soldier is out of APs, he enters standby mode and the next soldier is selected. If there are no soldiers with APs remaining, your turn ends. You can order a soldier to enter standby mode by using the space bar, selecting the icons from the action bar or using gamepad B. Alright, standby. And then we will do the same. Alright, you can end your turn at any time by pressing the end turn button on the screen, the backspace key, or... Okay, so we are going to go ahead and do that. And we got a bit lucky there. This guy shot, but we are in cover. It broke a little bit off of the wall, but most of the bullets just hit the wall and not our trooper, which is awesome. Right, damage and body parts. When a character is attacked, damage is done to the body part that was hit, as well as reducing general hit points. Wounded body parts are marked in yellow on the damage display left of the health bar. Disabled body parts are marked in red. Disabled body parts will usually cause bleeding and a loss of strength and possibly willpower. Any special ability given by the body part will be lost. Alright. Cover and environment. Any object in the environment can provide cover by blocking the path of a projectile. However, soldiers will make use of cover in 2 different ways. When next to a low obstacle or low wall, soldiers will crouch to reduce exposure. When next to a high obstacle or high wall, soldiers will remain standing but can step to the side to shoot. Now move to the highlighted tile. Now, something to mark here. And again, if you haven't been watching my videos before, I was talking about how many of the systems in Phoenix Point are more simulated than the modern XCOM reboots. And that is particularly true in how the projectiles work, because in XCOM, the reboots, basically you have a hit chance, and you either hit, you basically scratch the enemy with a hit, a graze, if you will, or you just miss entirely, because that's just what the system decides. You either hit, or you miss, or you graze, right? Because the projectiles in XCOM, the reboots, are not simulated. They don't actually get fired. It's just a dice roll to see if damage has been done. If yes, the damage is applied, and so on. In Phoenix Point, all the projectiles that are fired are simulated, and each individual bullet can hit or miss. And it's a lot more interesting once we move over here and we zoom in to shoot. And that is explained now, the free aim shooting. So free aim allows you to target a body part and see the effects of disabling the body part. Each body part has its own hit points and armor value. Damage prediction is also shown for the targeted body part. The outer blue circle shows you where all your shots will land. The more accurate the weapon, the smaller the circle. Free aim controls. Enter free aim, press the free aim icon, or scroll the mouse wheel, and so on. Alright, so we will go into firing the weapon, and now we can zoom in by scrolling the mouse wheel a bit. Now, here is where things get interesting. We have the two little blue circles that you can see right here. And as you may recall from the little text on the left, 100% of the shots will land within the outer blue circle. However, roughly 50% of the shots will land in the middle blue circle. And so, the assault rifle, it is going to shoot 6 times with a potential damage output of 35 damage per shot. That means that roughly 3 shots should enter the torso if that is what we end up aiming at. Or the machine gun, or the arm, or the other arm, or the launcher arm, which allows him to shoot grenades, or the left leg, or the right leg, and so on. So basically, what we want to do here is we want to select an area where we will be sure to hit most of the... have the best chance of hitting, basically. So if we aim right here, basically the whole body is within the outer blue circle, which means that 100% of our shots should enter his arm, and we should be able to destroy it, which would prevent him from using the launcher arm. We could also shoot him in the leg, which reduces his movement range, but since this guy has a grenade that he can shoot and a machine gun which he can use to shoot, yeah, that doesn't really help us a lot. We could disable the torso, which would cause bleeding, a loss of -1 willpower, and a maximum hit points of -20 as well. Now his head is just barely visible, but shooting at that, as you might tell, is going to make sure that we have a very high chance of missing, because half of the circle is outside of the head area. So we want to enter somewhere in the center mass to make sure that we hit all of our shots. Now, at this point, I think if we just shoot at the torso, we are going to do enough damage to kill, potentially. Or actually, no, it's pretty wide, the bar at the top. But if you move over to the left, you can see now there's a flashing red skull, which means we are more likely to kill. Because this arm doesn't have the damage reduction, because it doesn't have any armor on it. Whereas the torso, it has a armor of 10, which means that if we damage 35 per shot, then the 35 is going to become 25. But here, let's just take that shot. Boom. We do enough damage to make that kill. And now we can move on to the next location. Alright, and then he is going to sprint over to the next part. This is very unwise, but it is what the tutorial prompts us to do, so we are going to do exactly that. Your active soldiers are out of action points, so you want to end? Yes. We will end the turn. And here comes a new enemy. This time with a shield, and another enemy with a shield. And, oh, a third one with a shield. Interesting. Alright, kill all enemies. So it seems that at this point we are left a little bit more freely in our options of what to do. So I have some ideas. Let's see, we have bash, reload, we have fire a weapon, standby. It doesn't seem like we have learned the ability to overwatch yet, so that is something that is going to be a little bit firing a weapon costs 2 action points, and we had 4 action points. And that means that we could technically shoot twice if we do not move from this location. However, if we do move a little bit, we can no longer shoot. Or we can shoot, but we can only shoot once, but we cannot shoot twice. So, it might be a smart idea to get this guy, who has a pretty good view on most of these enemy crabs, to give him 2 shots. So if we zoom in, we can look at several areas. We can shoot in the arm again, which again seems most likely to kill him. The leg also doesn't have armor, also seems very likely to kill him, whereas damaging the other parts, it's less likely, especially the carapace, which has 20 armor. We have a shield over here, 30 armor, and so on. Anyway, let's shoot him in the arm. Boom! Arm goes off. And now we can shoot again. And this time we could maybe shoot the head, we could shoot a leg, we can shoot this arm. And again, the wider the bar at the top is, the more likely we are to do the damage that we need. So if we... I saw a flashing red skull at certain points. Well, let's just hit the leg, because these guys are melee based. Right, so if he cannot reach us, he cannot damage us. Alternatively, we have the shield on this side. Yeah, he has the pincer on the other side, so we cannot disable the arm, where it's unlikely that we are going to destroy that arm. So, like it is. Boom. So the shield absorbs some of those bullets, unfortunately. Meanwhile, our other guy, he can only really hit the carapace, or the arm in the back, or the pincer maybe. Yeah, this is a little bit tricky, because we might not do enough damage to kill it. We could maybe move for a better shot. But, yeah. Alright, so we are going to try and kill this dude, and we're going to have to keep him alive, I suppose. If we move over here, we might just shoot a little bit past that shield.
I'm on the move.
So let's move over. Instead of shooting twice, we are just going to go for the more accurate shot. Alright, so we could shoot the arm, and we could potentially kill this guy, or at the very least, if we destroy the arm and he survives, at least he will not be able to damage us. But we do enough damage to actually kill that second Arfron as well. So let's end that turn, see what this guy is up to. Of course, he's going to waddle right over, and he's going to start hitting our dude, which is very unfortunate. 2 armor is destroyed, he does 90 damage, and then he deploys a shield. Now our guy is wounded, but not out, and I wonder, can we actually... Yeah, we could even shoot the pincer, that's interesting, but the shield is kind of in the way. We could shoot the leg, wow. We are a lot more accurate at close range than I thought. Let's try this. Oh wow. Alright, I did not expect that, but that is quite interesting. He's not even helped much by that shield. Anyway, vehicles. Vehicles are armored personnel carriers with a mounted weapon. Soldiers can enter the vehicle by moving on the entry marker next to the vehicle and then pressing enter vehicle on the action bar. Enter the vehicle with both soldiers. Now, we cannot reach all the way over to where we need to be with that soldier at the very least, but our other soldier can. And it doesn't require any action points to enter the vehicle, so that is good to know. Let's put this guy inside, and then we will end the turn right there, and then our guy over here is also going to enter. An objective complete. Kill all enemies. Right, so we got injured. We did get experience though. They're both level 2. And we got a scarab. Alright, so let's see. Kill all enemies. Experience points for that is 0. Evacuate all Phoenix operatives. 200 experience points for that. And that is basically divided. This is the experience we got. And as you can see, the total of these 2 experience bars would be 200 if you add them up. And then we also get 2 skill points in the skill points pool. Alright. Let's see, you will need to complete a faction's special missions. See Diplomacy tab in order to progress your relations with them to the next level. Supportive, aligned, or allied. Oh, interesting. That's almost a little bit like Mass Effect or something, like the role-playing games, you know, Dragon Age, Mass Effect, where you get to know people, then you do a special quest for them, and they start to like you, or they fall in love with you, so on.
An alert has been triggered and you will need to clear out the enemy forces. There may be others who receive this signal. Help them if you can. It's all up to you now. Good luck, operatives. Symes out.
Alright, well, we have reached Phoenix Point, our base. This is still part of the tutorial, of course, so let's have a look. Inventory. The inventory shows everything carried by a soldier and items on the ground or in adjacent crates. Encumbrance. If the weight of all carried items and armor is greater than the soldier's strength, then the soldier suffers a movement penalty. Access the inventory, well, we can do that by pressing the I key or the gamepad, or we can just press that instead. So, tactical inventory display is divided into 3 sections. Ready contains items that are currently equipped and ready for immediate use. That would be the rifle over here. Backpack holds all items carried but not equipped. That will be this magazine in the backpack for the rifle. And ground. Items on the soldier's tile are in surrounding tiles. Entering the inventory display has no AP cost. Moving any number of items from one section to another has a fixed cost of 1 AP, except for moving items to the ground, which does not cost any APs. Alright, so we can go back, and now we could move to this equipment crate, and we could open that. Equipment crates contain weapons, ammo, and other equipment. The first time a unit moves next to an equipment crate, the inventory is automatically opened and the soldier will get a will point bonus. Moving any number of items from the crate to a soldier's backpack or ready section costs 1 AP. Alright, let's move over next to that crate and open it up and see what's inside. So, on the ground, we have now a medkit. We can take a medkit from the equipment crate and place it in the ready item slot. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We can also take a grenade from the equipment crate and place it in our ready slot. Now we can just click on it and click there. And let's see what else would there be. An Odin grenade. Oh, sorry. No, that's somewhere else. This is the Odin grenade. This is a rifle, med pack, and so on. Anyway, need to press back there. Not much else we can do. We will click this guy. Lise Eclair. And we apparently have to run all the way over there, so... Ooh, that's what we're going to do, but we spot some enemies. Let's have a look. It is also possible to come across allied characters in battle. Allies surrounded by a blue circle can be rescued and come under your control. End your turn for now. And this would be our ally. But we need to end our turn. We cannot actually move over. That is unfortunate, because... Oy. That is a lot of damage. -6 armor and 100 damage. And this guy is going to shoot. 157 damage. Oh, yeah. Alright, so, disabled the torso, 10 bleeding, -1 will points. Now, this guy, or girl, would normally speaking have been dead. Because that was a shit ton of damage. But of course, this is the tutorial. They want to teach us about the status effects, so this character is still alive for the moment. Anyway, status effects are bonuses or penalties that affect a unit for a certain amount of time. Positive effects are usually acquired through abilities, while negative effects come from enemy weapons and abilities. Bleeding is one of the most common status effects. Soldiers suffering from bleeding are dealt a set amount of damage at the start of their turn equal to their bleed level. Bleeding can be cured by using a medkit. After a mission ends, bleeding and disabled limbs are cured, but hit points need to be restored at a base with a medical facility. Okay. Ready items bar. Items in the ready section of the inventory are shown in the ready items bar. They can be selected for use without an AP cost. Ready items. Select item, use the left mouse button, or blah blah blah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Select the grenade. Alright, and then we are going to have to run over here with the grenade in hand. And, well, we are going to have to toss it, which also seems to carry a 2 AP penalty, or cost. Grenades do area damage around the spot where they land. An orange sphere shows the area of effect, and the distance at which a grenade can be thrown depends on the soldier's strength and abilities. Alright, let's toss this thing. Right there. Boom! Very nice. And apparently we have to end the turn again. Medkits and healing. Medkits restore hit points and remove bleeding and poison status effects. Alright, so that's good to know. Poison and bleeding. We need to remember that. A soldier must be next to the injured soldier in order to heal him. Select the medkit. And then the use medkit ability, and then the character that we need to use it on. Plus 120 health. Use the medkit. Rescuing allies. Allied characters are rescued by moving a soldier next to them. After they are rescued, the character can be given orders along with the rest of your squad. So we need to switch over to this character, then we can run to that character. And now we have another soldier. There are various soldier classes, each with their own set of abilities and equipment proficiency. While any soldier can use any armor or weapon, doing so comes at the risk of lower accuracy or fumbling. The heavy class soldiers are proficient in heavy weapons and usually equipped with armor capable of enduring large amounts of damage. Their emblematic jetpack suit allows them to fly over obstacles or reach high points with ease. Select the heavy class soldier. Alright. Will points and advanced abilities. Sorry. Willpower determines a soldier's will to fight and ability to perform advanced class abilities. A soldier begins battle with will points equal to his willpower. They are displayed in the bottom left corner of the screen. Will points can be gained by killing enemies, opening crates or reaching objective zones. They can be lost when allies die. If a unit's will points fall to 0, it panics and loses a turn. Will points can be partially restored by using the recovery ability. Use the heavy's jet jump ability. Jump over the wing of the aircraft to land near the enemy. Alright, so press that. Now we need to go over here. And off we fly. It does cost the 2 will points, of course. So every time you do this, this character will be closer to panicking. And now we need to end our turn. Alright, so we've got one Pandoran over here, who deploys his shield. There's another Pandoran who is, alright, not getting all the way there. And another Pandoran who is going to take a shot and pretty much hits all of it. We're behind a bit of cover, but he's too high up, I suppose. Let's see. Combat reactions. Some abilities, such as Return Fire, allow characters to react during the enemy turn. Return Fire allows a character to shoot back when enemies shoot at it or any of its allies, as long as the attacker is within 18 tiles of the target. Only certain weapons are able to return fire, regardless of what skills a unit might have. Move your assault under the wing, then shoot the enemy and observe the return fire. Alright. So we need to shoot this guy right here who has the machine gun, and that will allow him to return fire. Apparently we can no longer zoom in for maximum hit points, or to choose which arm or part of the body to damage, but we are going to simply shoot at the head, and we shouldn't even miss. That is a ton of damage on the head there, but he gets to return fire because he's still alive. Alright, Overwatch. The Overwatch ability allows soldiers to guard an area during the enemy's turn. If an enemy enters the Overwatch cone, it is attacked automatically. Overwatch controls, enter Overwatch mode, blah blah blah. Select the Overwatch icon from the action bar or press a Y or use gamepad. Select target position. Yeah, I know how this works. Let's click on him. Let's move over here, where the game prompts us to. And then we have the Overwatch ability right here. So we are going to click that, and then we are going to center it on this area.
Providing Overwatch.
So this is also a really cool improvement over the modern XCOM reboots, because the modern XCOM reboots, when you Overwatch, you would shoot at the very edge of your range, if that is where enemies happen to pop up. And of course, the further away they are, the more difficult it is to hit. And sometimes you might waste an Overwatch on a character that you don't really care about, because that just happens to be the first character to move, and you really wanted to shoot someone else. But with this system, you can basically design, like, you're going to only overwatch in this area, and you're only going to shoot once an enemy reaches this area, and not when he's still over there, for example. And that will maximize your damage potential. Anyway, a character's stats, equipment, body parts, abilities, and status effects can be viewed at any time in combat from the character info panel. Alright, so let's click on the soldier, and then we can click on info. Oh, that's a lot of information. Alright, so we have a disabled torso. We still have armor on all of our body parts. We have the status Overwatch. We have the ability of assault training, proficiency with assault rifles and shotguns. We have their hit points, will points, movement points, perception, accuracy, and so on. Alright, we can close this and end the turn. It's interesting that we don't get to shoot with the heavy, which is a bit strange, but here comes Overwatch, and that first crab man is down. Of course, after that first Overwatch shot, it's no longer active. Alright, so this guy is moving. Man, I have to make some choices that I really would do differently when actually playing. But of course this is the tutorial, so we're just going to have to follow along with it at the moment. Kill all enemies. Alright, so now we get control back. So if we are going to shoot this guy, let's see, we have the Hell 2 cannon. Yeah. So again, we only shoot one time with this thing. So if the shot ends up here, we are going to miss. That is bad. So we are going to maximize our chance to hit by moving the aim reticule a bit more down. Well, I guess between the legs it also doesn't really matter. So let's just kind of shoot there. But we hit. The guy goes down. Nice. Right, so this guy is going to go into standby mode because he can't really do much anyway. And then our assault is going to move over here. And we are going to take this shot and disable that pincer. And even take him out. Alright. Mission complete. Kill all enemies. Alright, so we don't get any experience points for that, which is interesting. And this guy looks interesting. And out of the mist. Alright, good to know. Now, at this point, we should go back to the geoscape, I think.
The Phoenix Project was founded on October 24th, 1945. The Second War to end all wars was over, but there were those who understood that we could no longer afford to think in terms of nations and empires. For a time, the Phoenix Project successfully navigated the political conflicts of its era. That was our golden age. Phoenix Project operatives scoured the world for clues. We had bases in 24 countries. Even the heavens were not off limits. But out there, on the far side of the moon, began our downfall. The failure of the Phoenix 2 mission exposed us to our enemies in the UN. Stripped of resources and scattered to the winds, we were reduced to a secret, a memory. When the Pandora virus woke up, we should have been the first line of defense. When huge clouds of mist appeared over the sea, when people started vanishing, we should have figured out what was going on. And when those people started coming back, changed, hostile, alien, we should have been ready to fight, but we failed. The ecosystem started to change, imperceptibly at first, then faster and faster. 3 factions arose. New Jericho, trying to restore order and purity. Sanhedrin, hoping to build a world without hierarchies. And the Disciples of Anu, a new syncretic religion dedicated to adaptation and biological change. At war with the world, and at odds with each other, these factions cannot find a way forward. Now the mist is returning, and armies are rising from the sea. Without the Phoenix Project, humanity will fall. It's time to rise from the ashes.
Alright. Well, at this point we've been playing for a while, so I'm going to be putting a cut in here, but we will explore the geoscape in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you will return for the next one. Please leave a like and a comment below if you did enjoy it, and please consider subscribing because that helps me immensely. Alright, I'll see you guys for the next one.